right, hey guys, what's going on? How you doing? Resolution time. Let's do this. Still not drinking, still trying to watch that weight. I don't jump on the scale for another week or so, so I'll let you know how that goes. Did you pick it up? Did you grab a hold of it? Did you decide to go ahead and do it? There's the question. Think about it. Go ahead and take action today on it. I'm going to keep reminding you of it. Let's get on this thing right here. So first and foremost, there's something about this whole podcast thing. It's grinding down a little bit. I'm working at it a little harder than I normally do, so I apologize for the quality, but we're going to get through this anyway. Here's the question. Are you good at life? Of all the things you have to do, are you good at life? People, what the hell do you mean, am I good at life? Are you good at life? Do you know? Do you know if you're good at life? Wouldn't it suck if you're actually not good at life and you don't realize it until your life's almost over? Can you imagine? No one, and your friends aren't going to, hey, listen, bud, you kind of suck at life. You're not very good at it. Do you think your friends will tell you, hey, you're sucking here? How do you even know if you're good at life? I mean, what would be some indicators? Well, prison would be an indicator. Maybe being in prison is an indicator you're not good at life. Unless, of course, your life is prison, then you might be really good at it. But how do you know? I think I'm pretty good at life. When I look at my life, I think, yeah, I'm pretty good at it. I've done pretty well. I mean, I seem to be able to deal with struggle real well, and I set goals and achieve them. But in the blanket of that whole, are you good at life? There's a lot of skill sets to cover. You have relationships, and you have financial responsibility, and you have social rules. There's a lot of areas to cover. It's almost like life Olympics. It's like the Olympics of life. Let's see, relationships, finance, interpersonal communication. Those are all elements of the Olympic Games for life, right? So are you good at it? Would you be a gold medalist? Odd ass perspective to bring it to you with, but the truth is that is an important question. When I say, are you good at life? How do you evaluate that? Well, the evaluation is actually really simple. When you look at your life, are you progressing in the areas of your life that are important to you? That is, you take that whole package of all the things you do in the average day. Are those efforts rewarded? Are you seeing growth? Are you seeing the achievement of goals within each one of those aspects of your life? If you aren't, then maybe you're not that good at life. I mean, here's the thing, it's kind of like being a hunter. If you're a good hunter, then you're not hungry, right? People who know how to hunt can actually feed themselves. And the way you can tell if someone's a good hunter or not is if they can feed themselves. If they come home from hunting season and the back of their truck's empty every year, year in, year out, maybe they're not good at hunting. Well, spin that to life. If you look at your life and you look at how things are going, it isn't about what you have. The decision about you being successful or being good at life isn't about what you own. Being good at life is about creating. It's about creating new opportunities. It's about taking the aspects of your life in new directions. Is your relationship getting better? How's your finances doing? How's your money thing doing, right? Do you have money in the bank? Do you have goals? Are you achieving your financial goals? How are your relationships outside your personal relationships? Your work relationships. Do you show up at work every day energized with a defined goal, a point that you're going to be in 5 years, a destiny? You have destiny. Your destiny for your job is to be the CEO of the company, or to acquire enough skills to move up, get more money, and take a different job. What is your goals, and are you achieving those goals? See, I go back to, someone said something about how this disbursement of wealth and all this, it should be something on the lines of, it should be equal and it should be fair. But this falls into that same line. My perspective of why we end up where we are is conducive to creating a strong world, a strong species. Think about it. I'm an energy source. Boom. However you figure this out, I am born into the life I'm born in, which is different than say someone like Donald Trump's son. And I face the struggles I face. And the only way that I'm going to be able to take my life to where Donald Trump's son's life is, or Donald Trump is, right, or whoever, I don't want to give him any publicity than that, but I have to be good at those things that help me do that. I have to be good at those things that help me achieve those goals. The podcast is a prime example. I'm here struggling today. I'm not exactly sure why. Grinding these things out, it's just not feeling good to me right now. So I'm actually working at this. I don't know if you can tell or not, but if I wanted my goal is to change the world. My goal is to help you live a better life, right? I have to be good at this to do this. I have to be good at this to achieve that goal, Same is true for life. If you're interested in living an amazing life, if you want to escape waking up in the morning, wishing the day was already over, or wondering if you're going to have the money to pay your bills or have the opportunity to have any fun before it's all over, you have to get better at living life. You have to get better at the game of life, at mastering those things that have to be done in order for you to do or achieve the goals that you desire. So when you think about that, good at life, what's important there? I think the most important thing is having the ability to separate yourself from the noise. It's kind of hard to think when the room is just full of noise, when people are yelling. I mean, you take a look at the way things are going right now, there are a lot of distractions. How do you focus on being good at anything when you're distracted? So you got to set time aside every day to get focused and to realign your thoughts so you have a chance to figure out who you really are. Because as long as the noise is coming in, as long as you're not able to think and figure that out, you will always miss the mark. Which is obvious, right? I mean, granted, think about how you feel when you wake up in the morning. Obviously, you're not sitting in your perfect spot. There are things about your life you'd like to change, right? But if you're not taking the time to evaluate what it is that should change or where your next step is, either one of two things happens. Either you don't take any action at all, or the action you take is the wrong one. The action you take doesn't work as well as it should. Now, is this thinking about becoming better at life, being good at life? Does this mean that you're going to spend an hour a day thinking about certain things and all of a sudden your life is going to become amazing? Not necessarily. It takes time. Because it's taken time for you to condition yourself to do things the way you're doing them now, right? So it's going to take time. But you got to set aside that time every day to do it. If you want to get good at life, the other thing that's essential is to take action, especially when you're making change. That's the first action for change is the scariest action. Just like doing anything the first time is difficult, right? When you look at your life and you're saying, okay, I'm going to get better at this and I got to do this. And then you look at the segments of your life and you think, I have to improve this. I have to get better at this first. So let's say your relationship. How do you muster the energy to take action? You just do it. Because without that action, you will never improve. I wasn't feeling it. Haven't been feeling it for a couple of days on this. Keep working it. Keep showing up. You know why? Because I'm going to get good at it. Taking action. And then the other thing to be better at living life, to be good at life, is evaluation. You don't throw everything you have in one direction all at once. Now, I tend to do that. I've kind of spread it out a little more now, but that's not a good idea. You move forward, you take action, you evaluate, and you make adjustments. I mean, you've heard it. 266 podcast. I've adjusted the sound, tried a couple different things on the intros, did a little thing on the mixing thing, the video, tried some stuff there too. Why? Because after you actually make that choice and you start moving forward and you take that action, you need to make sure that action works. It doesn't make any sense for you to take action in the wrong direction for any more time than you necessarily have to. That's the idea. You got to keep an eye on the outcome of your effort, right? Because imagine you grind it out. I grind it out on this podcast. I'm doing something wrong and it never does what I want it to do. Evaluate. And then you adjust. Want to be better at life? Be flexible. Want to be better at life? It's okay for you to step back and say, you know, I think I'm going to change my plan. I don't think I want to do that anymore. That's the story of my life. I've done all kinds of things. You know why? Because at the time when I started it, I enjoyed it. I was energized by it. I liked the direction it was taking me. But somewhere within that, I said, okay, you know, I don't think so. I don't think this is going to work for me. And I changed directions. I made adjustments. And then from that point on, once you start that ball moving, all it is about action, evaluation, adjustment, action, evaluation, adjustment, action, evaluation, adjustment. Principle works for anything you want to do. Doesn't matter whether you love it, doesn't matter whether you hate it. I'm not here because I love sitting here in front of this camera or sitting in front of this microphone doing this every day. But I made a commitment to myself. I made a commitment to you. So I take the action every day. I evaluate the outcome. I evaluate the job that I'm doing, and then I make the adjustment. And that's how greatness is achieved. The issue here is that people who are successful aren't successful because they never fail. People who are successful because they're not afraid to fail. I don't like failing. I figure the way I see it in my head, I should have put out 3 podcasts and had 1 million followers. I should have put out 10 podcasts and been famous. I should have had, with the number of podcasts I have, hell, I should be probably sitting on Oprah right now. But that's not how it works. Action, evaluation, and adjustment. That's how you get better at anything, and that's how you're going to get better at life. Now, there's the other issue. What happens if you don't have the skills? Not every one of us is great at everything, right? There's also investigating and learning. I never stop learning. I'm listening to Gary Vaynerchuk's book right now, Crushing It, and I just finished Tim Ferriss's book, The 4-Hour Workweek, because I hadn't listened to it in probably 3 years. Still an inspirational book, something I will listen again in another year. I'll listen to it a few times throughout my life, but it's that ability to step outside your box long enough to learn things that you don't know. Because you know what? Maybe you just don't have the skills to live a great life. Maybe you're just not good at life because you don't have the skills. That's where education comes in. It can be those articles. If you're going to look at that phone, don't look at social media. If you're going to look at that phone, look at something that's going to add value to your life in the form of knowledge. Sitting around talking to people who don't make any sense about the old "I'm gonna" crowd. The world's longest conversation in the world is a half-drunk guy whose every conversation or every sentence starts with "I'm gonna." That's a long-ass conversation. And the reality is it's not doing anything for you, and it's not going to change anything for him either, because he ain't going to do any of it, right? Want to get good at life? Educate yourself. Want to get good at life? Step outside your box and do shit you haven't done. Want to get good at life? Take action on the life you're living. Want to get good at life? Evaluate those actions and then jump in it again. And amid all this, ask questions, read books, look for information in the direction that you want to take your life. And don't be afraid to dream, and if you tell your dreams, share your dreams with your friends, and guess what you're going to get? You're going to get stomped on. People who love you, they don't want you to change. They don't want you to be different. When I told my friends about us selling everything and moving in the fifth wheel, they weren't hearing that. They want to hear that. They want you to be like them. But being like them wasn't helping me live or get good at my life. The life I was living was not that great. I can tell you that right now. Waking up energized, excited, that's great. Waking up energized, excited with a little bit of money in the bank and a whole lot of time, that's even better. But how do you do that? How do you accomplish that? You have to get good at life. And in order for you to do that, you have to evaluate who you are. You have to be honest with yourself. Make choices based on who you are or that person you discover. Take action, evaluate, adjust. Take action, evaluate, adjust. That's the ticket right there. And I guarantee you can do anything with that. So keep that in mind. I'm just showing up here every day. I'm going to keep working this because what else do I have to do? I have to do something to affect my goal, and that is to change the world, to affect my goal, to change my life. and to be the best at it as I can be. So keep that in mind. I appreciate it. Don't forget the kindness. Don't forget to wake up every day with a glad and appreciative heart, because there's so many opportunities in the world, even when you don't think so. All you have to do is open your eyes, scan the horizon, and then take that first step. So keep that in mind. Until next time, just remember, today's your day. Make it a good one.